Long ago, when the highlands of what is now Eritrea were covered with whispering forests and golden fields, there lived a girl named Makeda. She was not born into a palace nor draped in jewels. Instead, she was a child of the mountains, with eyes as sharp as the morning star and a heart full of questions. Every evening, she sat by the fire and listened to the elders tell of spirits that guarded rivers, lions that spoke to hunters, and stars that guided ancestors across the sky. Unlike other children, she did not simply listen. She asked, "Why does the lion speak? Why must the river rise? Why do the stars never tire of guiding us?" The elders laughed and said she was too curious, that a girl must learn patience. But Makeda carried within her the belief that the world held hidden keys waiting to be discovered. One year a cruel drought struck the land. The crops withered, the cattle starved, and even the rivers turned to dust. The chiefs pleaded for answers, the priests sang hymns, the magicians danced under the moon, yet the sky remained dry. Makeda, still a young woman, walked into the mountains alone. She studied the cracks in the earth, followed the paths of birds, and listened to the silent breath of the valleys. At last she pressed her hand against a massive boulder and felt a tremble beneath, like a hidden heartbeat. "Here," she said, "dig here, and the earth will give us water." The men scoffed, for what could a girl know of such secrets? But Makeda lifted a tool herself, and children and women joined her, and together they dug until cool water burst forth. The people cried out in joy, and from that day Makeda was no longer dismissed as a curious girl but seen as one touched by wisdom. As years passed, her fame spread beyond the highlands. Traders spoke of her courage, shepherds sang of how she defended them from raiders with nothing but a spear, and when the king of Aksum died without an heir, the chiefs quarreled and nearly drove the land to war. But the people remembered Makeda, the girl who found water when all hope was gone, and they declared that she should rule. Thus she became Queen Saba, a ruler whose kingdom stretched from the Eritrean highlands to the Red Sea coast. Yet even as she wore the crown, her restless heart longed for knowledge beyond her borders. She heard tales of a king in Jerusalem named Solomon, whose wisdom was said to surpass all others. The fire of curiosity blazed again, and she declared she would go to him, not as a subject but as an equal seeker of truth. She prepared a grand caravan of camels laden with ivory, gold, and the finest frankincense of the Horn of Africa. Across deserts where the sun burned like fire, through nights filled with jackal cries, she pressed onward, carrying with her not only treasures, but riddles and questions she had written herself, questions no elder or priest in her land could answer. When she arrived in Jerusalem, Solomon marveled at her gifts, but more than her riches, it was her mind that astonished him. She asked him riddles of truth and justice, of the weight of power, and of the soul itself. Solomon answered her, yet her questions tested even his legendary wisdom. In turn, he posed riddles to her, and she solved them as one who listened to rivers, lions, and stars. Legends differ on what followed. Some say Solomon loved her, others that theirs was a bond of minds, not hearts. Eritrean tradition tells that from their meeting was born a son, Menelik, who would one day carry the Ark of the Covenant back to Aksum and make the land forever holy. Yet in the villages of Eritrea the tale is told more simply, that Makeda returned home wiser than before and told her people, "The world is wide, but wisdom does not rest in the hands of one man. It belongs to those who dare to seek it, whether woman or man, rich or poor." She ruled with justice, courage, and the strength of the mountains. To this day, when Eritrean children hear the tale of Queen Saba, they are reminded that greatness may rise from anywhere, and that a girl who once dug for water with her bare hands became one of the most celebrated queens in the world.